Gavin a bit disappointing this afternoon?
Very. I think it had signs of last season a wee bit. I mean, I didn't play in that game, but the boys went up 1-0 quite early against Clyde, and then it was kind of a similar story. I think all the goals are very poor, and especially all four in the first half. It's a hard one to take, and I think especially the way the League Cup went, we're looking forward to this first game and unbeaten, and it's just disappointing. It's probably the best way to describe it. So there's no point in dwelling on it. We've got to dust ourselves down and go again next week up at Edinburgh City.
Flat after the League Cup game, wasn't it? I mean, it wasn't the same. It didn't seem to be, although we made a good start, it didn't seem to be the same tempo as those
I think it's up to us to dictate that in the game. I think when we've got a lot of the ball, we need to make sure that it's quick. These teams will get, like you've seen today, teams will get behind the ball if we don't move it quick enough. So yeah, it was a wee bit flat, and especially them scoring not long after we'd got the first, and then the next one, it kind of just put a whole dampener on it. So it's us as players, up to us as players and staff to go and raise ourselves and dig ourselves out of it. But it was maybe a reality check today more than anything, rather going off the back of us being so good in I know you can't say that because we didn't qualify, but I thought at times, especially last week at Queen's Park, we've been very good in this campaign. So we've just got to put it behind us now, learn from the mistakes, try and cut them out next week and go again.
Once they get themselves in front as well, they make it very difficult just by the way they score and round. You're like wasps, really, isn't it?
I think we spoke about, after I spoke to you about Motherwell and we're talking about the game up at Elgin, teams are going to know that we're a good footballing side, and when we go ahead, or they go ahead, especially after they got their 2 goals, they're going to come here and sit in. So it's about us. It's not going to be free-flowing football at times. It's sort of counter-attack. We've got to find different ways to break teams down. So it's maybe something that we need to work on. The manager will know what he wants to do going forward. So we've got to just learn from it and move on, basically.
You give teams 4 goals, you're not going to win games, right?
At any level, not just the level that we're at. You give teams 4 goals, any level, they're going to have a good chance of winning games. So especially because we've been so good in terms of pre-season, the cup games as well. Yes, we lost 2 goals, but they were 3 goals, but they were against the SPL side. We've been pretty solid at the back. So, like I said, all the goals are avoidable. I think so. We've just got to. It's unlike ourselves, basically. So, I'm sure there won't be a repeat of that.
Did you say it's a bit of a wake-up call today, a bit of a reality check?
Well, we know how competitive the league was last season. I think being full-time doesn't grant you anything because teams are good. Even the part-time teams, Alloa made playoffs last year and we're not unlucky not to actually progress into the final of it. So we know that every game is going to be a challenge, going to present different challenges, and it's about us looking at it during the week and thinking, right, how can we go into this game and cause them problems? But at the other end, we've got to then keep that tight, and we didn't do that today.
On a personal level, 2 goals this afternoon takes you to your 100th.
I'd rather have won the game, to be honest, but personally it is nice to achieve that. I'm glad I got to do it here as well. I scored my first goal down at the bottom goal and I got my 100th there, so personally it's great, but I'd rather I took 3 points today. There's plenty of games where I could have got the 100th goal this season. 3 points is the main thing.
Obviously your 100th goal, you'll be looking to add to that as the season goes on.
Yeah, definitely. I think I've made a really good start so far this season. I think that's 5 and 5, but points are the main thing. Like I said, there's plenty of games to go and score goals. We need to be picking up the points. Last season, I think the main thing was, in terms of not making the playoffs, so the lads after I'd went out on loan, was the damage was kind of done before the gaffer came in. It's so much easier being in the pack and keeping up with it than trying to chase it. So yeah, we've obviously got to now try and get ourselves up there and just be more consistent, basically, rather than being up one week and down next week. Even the best teams are consistent throughout the course of the season. So yeah, there's stuff to work on, and we'll look forward to getting back in on Monday and doing that, basically.
And touch on Edinburgh City up next. A team that we've got a good record against, so looking to keep that going.
I think it was 5 from 5 for last season, so we're looking to build on that this year as well. So like I said, every game's hard, they're at home, but we've got to be confident in the players that we've got here that we can go up there and get a result.